Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Winning Picks Weekly. As always, my name's John Meleka, Jay Malika on Twitter, joined by my boy, my co-host, my buddy, my pal, my main man, the video producer for Knicks Jets, etc. The third co-host on Jets episodes, my main man, Greg. What up, Greg?
What's up, John? Ready for another week of gambling? Happy to be here. Happy to talk about it.
Yeah, dude, college has been great. NFL's been great. I've been live betting NHL and NBA. Things are
There's so
happening right
much.
now.
There's so much to bet on right now. It's crazy.
I have so many conference college with NFL division parlays going with so many NFL playoff, like NBA playoff. I'm all over the place right now. But yo, we're here to talk some NFL. It's week 10. And let's get into it, man. Let's just get this started. We usually start with things we learned, but it was a crazy week here in the NFL. I feel like we're gonna get into it as we go game by game here. Let's just start off with the Thursday night, man. This is a great game. It looks disgusting because it's the Atlanta Falcons who are 4-5 at -2.5 at the Carolina Panthers who are 2-7. It just looks gross. But dude, ever since Carolina fired their coach, Chuba Hubbard is back this week. They've been looking pretty. They've been looking okay. I know last week wasn't amazing with Joe Mixon scoring 5 touchdowns and they're getting that zero. So the question is it was it a 1 week bump with the coach? You know, with the whole not the coach, sorry, with the whole coach and quarterback and Robbie Anderson. Everything was just in flux. They won the game, they came back, and then they got smacked. Was it just like a 1 week bump? And do they stink? But if they do, I don't understand this line then, Greg, because Atlanta's 4-5. They're going for the division, and all they do is run the ball. They're great. I don't understand why isn't this Atlanta all the way?
Yeah, I'm not sure either on that. Right now, the betting, it's kind of split. It's like I see 58-42, so 60-40 in favor of the Falcons, -2.5 on the road. To your point,
I
these
see it
guys.
at 3. I see it at 3.
Oh,
Actually, I
three?
see it at yeah. The line
Okay.
moved to 3, so let's
Let's
roll with
make
it
it
because
three then.
that's the hard number too. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, These guys played 2 weeks ago, and it was a knockout, drag out game. I mean, DJ Moore, big touchdown at the end. The helmet off penalty led to overtime. It was
That was versus Atlanta.
Yeah, that was in Atlanta. That was Carolina versus
Oh my
Atlanta
goodness, I
two
didn't
weeks
even
ago.
realize that. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah. So
was revenge Carolina?
could be a little revenge Carolina. It could have just been a huge letdown game for Carolina against the Bengals last week because there was such a wild game in Atlanta.
Joe
Um,
Mixon 5 touchdowns is insane.
Yeah, I mean, that was just unbelievable to see. And it was a lot in the first half, too. I don't know if it was 3 in the first half, 4 in the first half, or what it was. But, dude, he was going absolutely crazy. I thought he was going to get 6. Really go for I don't know, was it a Kamara that had 6 on Christmas a couple years ago? Was it 5, maybe?
I think it was 5.
Yeah, so I thought he was going to go for some sort of record. But either way, I think it was just a bad game for the Panthers. I think that, yeah, maybe the interim coach bump is dying down a little bit, but dude, to me, I think it's going to be closer. I think that's why the spread's a little bit closer. 3 points at home. It makes me want to take Carolina, especially because you're fading the public on Monday night. But dude, to me, this is the
Thursday.
season. Or Thursday night, sorry, yeah, Thursday night. To me, this is the season for Atlanta. If Atlanta wins this game, they're back in the mojo. They're back in the swing of things. If they lose this game to Carolina, I don't see how they're going to catch Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay's freaking 4-5 in first place in their division. So
Yeah, but let's say they have the same record, dude.
yeah, I just feel
If
like
they both lose, they're gonna be out of reach.
I think it's so tough. I think it's so tough, especially with Tampa Bay last week. They should have lost that game, and we'll talk about it whenever they come up. But to see Tom Brady come back in a minute or whatever it was, just march down the field, 4 pass plays, right in your face, right in Jalen Ramsey's face, that scares the. As a Jets fan, that's like PTSD. Like I was having flashbacks. That's what you don't want to see if you're in the NFC South. So you don't want to see the Bucks get hot. They should have lost that game. Now all of a sudden they're tied for first place. You lose this game to a divisional opponent in Carolina, and you're in a bad spot if Tampa Bay gets another win. 'Cause now you're trying to chase Tom Brady down. Rarely works. So I think this is it for Atlanta. I think they got to win this week. So give me Atlanta as a -3 now. I'll still take the -3. I think that they're a better football team. I think they're fighting a lot harder than Carolina was fighting last week. So let's keep it going with Atlanta. That was a double best bet, by the way, we hit last week with Atlanta. So
And listen, I like Atlanta. I
yeah,
hate your handicap, but I like Atlanta
yeah.
because I don't think you're taking into account that there's 8 games left. I just hate the desperation. I don't think they're desperate. And actually that's why I'm nervous about it. I think they might be like, oh, this Carolina team stinks. They'll have 5 touchdowns on the run. All we do is run. Like this is going to be an easy game for us. They don't have a quarterback. I just hope I just hope that they actually come out and play. It's a
What do you mean
Thursday
Sam
game.
Darnold got activated? What are we talking about there on a quarterback?
Yeah, I know. I mean, if Sam Darnold plays, that'd be amazing. But I don't think he's gonna play on a short week,
Yeah.
coming off an injury here. But dude, just speaking real quick, I mean, Buccaneers Falcons last game of the season in Atlanta. That's gonna determine the division. So
I hope so.
go get your Atlanta bets in now. I mean,
I hope so. I got mine in last week, and that last week, that Tampa Bay, man, I was really thought Tampa Bay was done for, and they fucking came back. So I'm nervous.
okay. Well, speaking of,
Wait, who do you
moving
got? Who do
on.
you got in this game?
I'm with you. I'm with you on
Okay,
Atlanta. I just don't like your handicap. I don't think they're
gotcha.
desperate, which is what I'm worried about. I'm that
Yeah, if
worries
they're not
me.
desperate, they're not going to win because they need to be
Exactly.
desperate. You're
Yeah,
the
I
Atlanta
hope.
Falcons. You're not a freight train.
I hope you're right.
Yeah,
I hope. I just that this is what I'm nervous about.
yeah,
It's a long season, so I don't. Even if they lose, they're not out of the division. I think they're still going to win this division, and this is why, Greg, because 9:30 a.m. on Sunday, first game in Munich.
hell yeah,
This was supposed to. I wonder if they like legit thought this was going to be the biggest game of the year with like Russell Wilson in Seattle and Tom Brady in Tampa, you know what I'm
true.
saying, in Munich. Like this is going to be a huge game. But this is still a big game, man. I mean, Geno Smith, the 6-3 Seattle Seahawks, +2.5 at Tampa Bay. As you said, Tampa's fighting for this division. I think you're just clouded because you see Tom Brady, you see Tampa Bay's jerseys because they won, pretty recently. I, I think they're looking up at Atlanta. I'm be honest with you. I think they're looking up at Atlanta. They have injuries. They have a worse coach. They have an old quarterback. Like I don't know. We're depending on Chris Otten here. I don't know. So
I don't know. All I'm saying is that Tampa Bay, they showed nothing that whole game and somehow ended up coming out with a win. That
this
should
is
just
three
scare you.
also.
That should scare you.
This is 3 points also. So talk to
Yeah.
me as if it's 3 points. What do you like in this game?
I love Seattle. I've liked Seattle all season. I've been the Geno guy. I've been talking about the Seahawks. I've been saying Russell Wilson stinks. I love
Well, Russell
Seattle.
Wilson's not on Seattle.
I know. I'm happy they can ship them out of there. They're about to go to the playoffs. They might win their division, and they're about to get Denver's picks, which are probably gonna be top 10 picks because Denver sucks so much. It's crazy. It's the biggest 180. We made fun of, as Jets fans, we made fun of Seattle for 3 years for the Jamal Adams trade. It might be the biggest 180 of a trade in the history of the NFL. The Jamal Adams might go down as one of the worst trades of all time. And then the Russell Wilson might go down as one of the best trades of all time. I mean, what a complete flip these teams had. I mean, Tyler Lockett talking about how much fun it is to play football when it's not all about one guy getting all the glory.
Talk
Like,
about wristbands. You see this whole
yeah.
see the wristband gate?
No, I didn't see that. I saw Seattle. I saw
Pete
DK Metcalf.
Carroll, Pete Carroll, and Geno Smith. Or Geno Smith made a comment about using a wristband, and how it's cool and how I forgot what exactly happened. But then Russell Wilson commented, and said that they won a lot of games without a wristband. So Pete Carroll was basically saying the moral. I know I fudged that up, but the moral of the story here is Pete Carroll wanted Russell Wilson to wear a wristband. He said no, limited the playbook, and now Geno Smith is down with he's like, yo, let's go. Give me wristbands.
He's
Give me
taking shots.
He's like, I don't care what it is. Like, I'm down to wear a wristband. And now Pete Carroll is kind of taking shots at Russell Wilson. It just goes to say you were kind of right. You were kind of right about
Never
this
been
whole
more
Russell
right
Wilson.
about any take in my life. I never will
Right.
be. I call that from a mile away. I'm gonna stop talking about it at some point, but I can't right yet because we got the Denver coming up in a little bit. Back to this game, though, Seattle, I absolutely love it. To your point, Tampa Bay, tons of injuries. We've talked about how Todd Bowles sucks as a coach. We said it going into the year. That's why I had the Saints winning this division. The Saints absolutely suck. I'm sick of their
Dude.
shit. They are terrible. I absolutely hate them. That's why I put a bet in 2 weeks ago on the Falcons. I got the Falcons alone, and I got the Falcons and the Titans in a parlay. It's not looking too bad. 51 $1,000. It's got a shot. So I like the Seahawks here. I hope they take down Tampa Bay. I just don't. They just seem so out of sync. Like even Tom Brady last week hit Scotty Miller in the end zone to win the game, and it just bounces off his chest and off his hands. Like something's not right in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I like Seattle in this one. It worries me, it's a little bit that it's 9:30 in the morning. I think Tom Brady might have superpowers that early in the morning because he's been up since 4 a.m. But I like the Seattle Seahawks +3 too, plus the field goal. I love that.
It makes no sense, man. So I'm taking Seattle, and I like it, but I'm telling you, man, it makes no sense, and it's the wrong side.
60%,
Like, I'm with you.
60% of the money is on Tampa Bay.
Really?
Yeah, you're fading the public with Seattle. It's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy. Because let's get into it here, because we're all over this division, unplanned here, just all over the NFC South. Because there's a scenario here, Greg, where Carolina wins at home on a short week, beats Atlanta. Seattle beats Tampa, right? So they're both 4-6. And then jumping into the 1 o'clock slate here, New Orleans, like we mentioned, 3-6, but they're at Pittsburgh, who are 2-6. You know what I mean? And this game's a pick'em. I mean, there's a scenario here where New Orleans has a shot in this division, and they're sitting at 4-6, man. So
it would help out so many parlays if they have a shot. Then I need Jeff Saturday to have the best coaching comeback story of all time for the Colts, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
We'll get into that, but let's stay here with the New Orleans Saints here at Pittsburgh, and I'm gonna tell you what, Greg.
I see it at -1. I see it at -1.5
for Pittsburgh.
No, New Orleans.
That's what I have
On FanDuel. Oh, okay. I thought you said to pick them earlier.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's,
at 1 point.
-1.5.
Yeah.
This is my best bet, and this is my get in early best bet. Like if you're listening to this early, get in now as fast as you can, because I think TJ Watt's going to be activated for this game. And if TJ Watt's activated for this game, New Orleans is not going to be able to run anywhere. And if New Orleans can't run anywhere, they're going to get absolutely torched. Like I like Chris Olave, he's cool. They don't use Taysom Hill. I don't know what they forgot. They used him like for 2 games, and that was it.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, and they never used him again.
So unreal, man. And then the other side here, Jameis Winston obviously stinks, can't get on the field. I see that the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton stinks. New Orleans, man, their defense was supposed to be like the best part about them. Their safeties, Double D always killing it. He still is killing it. But I really hate everything I see from the Saints. I hope they turn it around here, and I'm wrong, because I do want them to make a run at this division to make it interesting. I love chaos, especially because, like you said, especially me and you, we have parlays at this point now with all 3 of them winning the division. So the closer they all get, the more the funner it is for me. Like I'm just gonna be like, all right, let's just see how this plays out. But I love Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh so much, so I'm gonna make it my best bet, man. Pittsburgh's been rolling. I know they just got rid of Claypool, so it's kind of are they tanking? But listen, and of course Najee Harris stinks. But dude, Warren has been killing it. They still have a bunch of receivers. Their defense has been getting way better. Minka's healthy. The Steelers are healthy. I think TJ Watt's going to be back this week. He's been ramping up for a couple weeks now. It's not like, they're just going to toss him in there. I think Pittsburgh at home is going to absolutely kill New Orleans. I don't think New Orleans is going to score. I think it's going to be one of those games where New Orleans killed it last week. This week, they're going to get smacked.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of injuries on the Seattle injury report. I was looking up Pittsburgh here. Seattle, New Orleans Saints injury report. I'm trying to see here for TJ Watt.
I mean, last week they got smacked by Baltimore.
Is optimistic that he'll play Sunday, Mike Tomlin said it in an interview.
with TJ Watt.
Yeah, with TJ Watt. Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna smack New Orleans, man. The New Orleans gonna get smacked again, just as they did versus Baltimore. This is a tough slate for them, bro. Monday night versus Baltimore, and then at home at Pittsburgh the next week on at 1 o'clock. I don't know. This is tough for them. I think they're gonna be 3-7.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right bet. I mean, right now the betting split was it 55 Pittsburgh, 45 New Orleans. I'm
Perfect.
dude,
Best bet.
I'm going New Orleans here just because I think it's like the last stand. Like if they don't figure it out this week, they're not going to figure it out this year. You have to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers who
But it's the same with Pittsburgh, bro. So like Pittsburgh is super desperate again
yeah.
because if Atlanta loses, Tampa loses, New Orleans loses, they're in the same exact spot. They're in this league. It's just the next week. You know what I mean? It's not desperation, but if the Pittsburgh Steelers lose and they're 2-7, you can kiss that wild card goodbye.
Yeah, it is I think it is desperation for the Saints. Because after the Steelers, you have the Rams, 49ers, Bucks, Falcons, Browns, Eagles, Panthers. That's like you have maybe one easy game if you want to say the Panthers the rest of the way. Like you should be beating the Pittsburgh Steelers if you're
I'm gonna tell you what, Greg. I'm gonna tell you what. You telling me that schedule right now, I am way more optimistic about that schedule. Because if they lose to the Steelers, I know we're going a little deep here on the Saints, but it's good to know for your division parlays and our division parlays. Nice to talk it out here.
Yeah. That's why we do it.
We have I think they're gonna beat if they lose to this. Let's just project their schedule right now. They lose to the Steelers, 3-7. They beat the Rams at home, lose to the 49ers,
Yeah.
and then they have 2 division games. Buccaneers, Falcons, like that like
Panthers
they're going to be within
Panthers end the season too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the Falcons and the Bucks are the ones you're competing with for this division.
True.
Like you give them both losses, plus you gain the wins on both of them, and you get the Rams win. I think if they're 3-2, over the next 5 games, including 2 division wins, I think they're fine. So that's why I don't think it's desperation for them. Personally, again, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm just I'm trying to see it from the perspective of I know it's halfway through the season and everybody's excited. Everybody's talking playoffs. Everybody's talking everything is all set. But dude, if you look at last year, at this exact point, everything changed from now. So I just want to keep it I'm excited to talk about the next game because
one last bit of handicapping on the Saints, though. I think there's a chance they just stink in primetime. Like, they absolutely killed the Las Vegas Raiders 2 weeks ago, but it was a 1 o'clock. It was a 1 o'clock game or 4 o'clock game, mixed in with a bunch of other games. Raiders, I think
anyone can beat the Raiders.
Yeah, anyone can beat the Raiders, but then they got absolutely torched the other 2 games. Cardinals on Thursday night or Monday night or Sunday night, whatever it was, and then the Ravens. Again, I think they just might suck in prime time. I could be wrong, but it's worth a one last shot for me. So I'm rocking with the Saints 1 o'clock against Pittsburgh. Okay. One last shot, and then if not, their season might be over.
Fair enough. Let's talk about a game where definitely no desperation in here, so we don't have to argue about that one. Give it a little break, especially for this game. But this is a really interesting game here because we don't know if the quarterback is playing because of the New York Jets. We have the number 1 defense in the league, man. You better watch out. Don't drop back against the Jets, man. Nobody's gonna learn.
Throw it to Sauce, I dare you.
Josh Allen unfortunately got hurt, but seems like he's gonna be okay. I would guess he's not gonna play this week. Why would they risk their franchise quarterback and Super Bowl aspirations just because it's Minnesota? It makes no sense to me. But it's Buffalo at home. The line significantly dropped from 7.5 all the way down to 3.5 with the news. Just trickling down little by little. It's sitting at 3.5 now. Minnesota 7-1, Buffalo 6-2 at Buffalo. Buffalo needs a redemption game after losing at home, kind of getting embarrassed by the Jets. I know it was a close game, but they look bad. It was Josh Allen's worst game. He even said it. The Jets did nothing spectacular on offense. And we kind of controlled the game the entire time, but obviously they had a chance to still win it at the end there. What do you think about this game, man? Minnesota's rolling. You see Kirk Cousins with his chains on, no shirt. Adam Schefter impersonating him. Might be the jinx, but it's Kirk Cousins 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Dude, I think the Buffalo Bills absolutely stink without Matt Milano and Jordan Poyer. If they're not playing, they stink, and they're hurt right now. So if Josh Allen's also hurt, I don't know. I don't know how it's not Minnesota plus 3.5. I took them as plus 7.5. I know nobody cares because it's 3.5 now, but I've been just hitting them as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean, your last couple of sentences there is exactly how I was going to handicap it. Dude, we talked about last week when they were playing the Jets that we think the Jets had a chance because of the injuries. Well, guess what? It's 1 week later. Those injuries haven't changed. Matt Milano, limited practice because of an oblique. Poyer, didn't practice on Wednesday. These guys are still injured. And on top of that, now you're adding the best quarterback in football, the second best quarterback in football, as possibly being injured. Didn't practice again on Wednesday. Might not play this week. We don't know. Dude, the list for the Buffalo Bills injury report is impressive because there's so many good names on it, but it's a long list, dude.
Von
Even
Miller's rest though.
Yeah, but even like Kyrie Elam is like their third string. He's a rookie out of Florida cornerback. I think he's their
Yeah.
third or fourth string cornerback. He was playing meaningful minutes last week against the Jets, but he even got banged out, came out for a couple plays, and then had to come back, and then missed a couple plays, and then came back because of injury, not because of poor play. So even though it might be rest and stuff like that, these guys are still banged up, and they're already down, White, and they're down Poyer in the back and the secondary. So, dude, this is my what am I missing pick of the week because I don't get how Minnesota's getting points. They're 7-1. I think they're just as good as the Buffalo Bills. I don't get why everyone has the Buffalo Bills on this pedestal. We said before the season started we were doing our first episode. I guarantee the Buffalo Bills don't win the Super Bowl. They're good, don't get me wrong, but they're not some ungodly team that no one can beat. They're just a football team that stinks sometimes.
They lost to the Jets,
They
bro.
lost to the Jets. They lost to Jacksonville last year. They're also not going to go. They're not going to run the table. Like, they're going to lose games. I think this is a losable game because they have so many injuries. To your point, why would you play Josh Allen? If your true aspirations are Super Bowl, none of this matters because you're going to be making the playoffs. So I love the points here. I love Minnesota. I was thinking about taking it as a best bet. Instead, I made it my what am I missing pick of the week because I do not understand why Minnesota's plus 3.5. You're getting the field goal and the hook against
And that's what they're dropping.
Case Keenum.
Yeah, that's what Josh Allen baked in.
Yeah, that's with Josh Allen not playing big innings. So you said it was 7 points with Josh Allen.
7.5, dude. This opened at 7.5, which was crazy. This was gonna be my
That's
best
even crazier.
dude. I got like literally as soon as I got in the parking lot, after the game, we were sitting in traffic, obviously trying to leave MetLife after the Jets Bills game.
Yeah.
I literally pulled out my phone to bet the next week, and I took Jets plus 5.5 at New England, and I took Minnesota plus 7.5. I was like, I know what I just watched. You know what I mean? And without Milano, without Poyer, I'm all over Minnesota. I am absolutely with you here, man. And let's stick with this division. Are the Chicago Bears real, dude? The Detroit Lions are plus 2.5 at the Chicago Bears. Detroit 2-6, Chicago 3-6. But everybody telling me Detroit stinks and Chicago the best team in the world, and they're separated by 1 win.
Yeah.
What do you think about this game?
Dude, I think I was really impressed with both teams last week. Detroit royally screwed me over. I had a pretty big parlay, a 3-teamer last week with, I can't remember who now, Minnesota maybe. But the leg that lost was Miami minus 4.5, and I think I had $200 to win 1,200 or something like that. Which was my biggest parlay of the weekend. And dude, just Chicago could not stop scoring. They were running it all over the place, but even then, when they got into the red zone stuff, they found Cole Kmet. They found a couple other guys.
Yo, Cole Kmet's back, bro. Cole Kmet is here. He's here.
And dude, just the injury report looks pretty clean this week. Not a ton of people on there. Detroit, on the other hand, again, just a full injury report this week. Three cornerbacks on that. Josh Reynolds, again, still not practicing, and the wide receiver. They need some help, man. They looked good on defense last week. But then again, it was the Packers, and the Packers just aren't that good this season. I was trying to tell you a week or two ago about it. Can't just ride the Packers all year, dude. They stink. Aaron Rodgers, 2 interceptions in the end zone. I don't think that's going to happen this week, just because I don't think that Justin Fields is going to be throwing it in the red zone. I think he's just going to be running it, dude. He runs and runs and runs. I like Chicago on this one. I think it's going to be close. That's why I'm a little nervous. But again, it's only 2.5 points. You get under a field goal. I love that. I like the home team under a field goal. Give me Chicago minus 2.5.
Is Swift playing?
I believe so. He's questionable, but he was a limited participant in practice,
Oh, okay.
so he is practicing.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so he'll be there. Jamal Williams is a nice fill-in. Listen, man, I just don't believe in the
Yeah.
Lions. I don't know what else to say. I just really don't believe in the Detroit Lions. I rewatched that game, during the week, because obviously I didn't watch any football on Sunday. I was busy with like the Jets and the Bills, and then I was recording and stuff. I was not impressed. I was like trying to because I had the over, so I was just pissed off already turning on that game. Like, dude, both defenses stink. Every single game's a shootout against both these teams. Of course, I think the over. I think it's an easy bet, and it's like it's barely half of the over. So I was annoyed watching the game. I wasn't impressed. Watching Chicago, they're okay.
Yeah.
When I watch Chicago and then I listen to people talk about the Bears, it's like two completely different ball games. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, what do you mean by that? Like they say they stink, but then you watch the game, and you're like, actually, this team's pretty good, or vice versa.
Opposite. Like
Yeah.
I'm watching the Bears. Listen, it's impressive how well they're doing after they got rid of Quinn and Roquan Smith. I'm gonna give them their flowers there. Also, Justin Fields has been doing well with whatever offense they're trying to run, whatever that is, whatever you want to call that, like
Yeah.
the pistol, like I don't know what it is, whatever that is that they're running, he's running it well. I just don't think it's a winning formula. So everybody telling me Justin Fields is back, the Bears are good, they're just gonna build around him. Like, good luck. It's gimmicky for me. It's a gimmicky offense. It's gonna work a couple times. It's gonna work against the Detroit Lions. But so I love the Bears in this specific game. I just don't trust the Bears. I'm glad everyone's optimistic about it. I'm not gonna hate on it. It's fine. It looks fine. But like I'm watching them and I'm just not impressed. I'm just shocked that everybody's impressed by them. Like it's almost like I'm not watching when everyone's. I'm like I want to watch it with people that love it so much.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, when I hear people just look at the box score, it's so obvious. The people that are really, really down on the Bears, it's clear that they're not watching these games because they're playing well. Like they're moving the ball. You know what I mean? The yards per play, they're moving the ball, they're playing decent defense. But if you look at the box score, Justin Fields' numbers stink. It's like, oh, how can you like them? They're so bad, but they're moving the ball. You know what I mean? So
Wait, so are they playing bad or are they playing good?
that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if they're mediocre. So like, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I just think they're going to beat the Detroit Lions. That's what I'm saying. For this specific game, I just think they're going to beat the Lions, but I don't know. Like I don't think they're amazing like everybody's saying. And then the other people that are like so on the opposite side that are looking at the box score, you can't look at the box score with this team. You're gonna think they're the worst team in the NFL. But but then the people that are watching like, oh, Justin Fields is amazing. Don't you see? Look at him run. He's so fast. Okay, like I don't know. Like I don't agree with anyone on the Bears. That's what I'm trying to say at the end. Like everybody talking to me about the Chicago Bears, I don't agree with anyone. Like I'm just like watching. I'm like I don't know. That's why I'm confused about what's going to happen with the Bears, but for the specific game, I think they're going to beat the Lions.
Yeah, I think the people that are really excited about the Bears just early in the season, I mean, was Justin Fields was on pace to set the record for the least number of attempts or completions in the NFL history. And now he's gone from that to setting the NFL record for most rushing yards in a game in the span of like 4 weeks. I think that's why people are so excited about the Bears. I think people that are really high on the Bears are just really high on Justin Fields. And obviously the team stinks around him. They need to get better. They're probably going to miss the playoffs. And they probably want to because they want good draft picks. They're trading players away for picks. They're trying to build this team up. I think people are just really excited that Justin Fields is showing something because, like I said, he is on pace to be set the record for the least number of completions and attempts in an NFL season with one extra game, with it being the most pass happy league it's ever been. So, but yeah, dude, the Lions too. On the other hand, I just don't know what I'm getting from them. Last week I took them alternate spread -2.5. That was probably the luckiest bet I've ever had because they should have lost by 30, but they just kept getting incredible interceptions right when they needed to. That's something you can't bet on week in and week out. So what you can bet on is a good rushing attack from the Chicago offense. I think also too it's a young coaching staff, it's a new coaching staff. I think people are just happy that their coaching staff isn't just beating their heads against the wall week in and week out. It looks like they're adapting and changing and trying to make something happen for this offense. When early in the season, for the first 3 games, it was just like throw the ball 6 times a game and run the ball with the running back. Now it's like, okay, let's get some play action going. Let's get something going. So, again, I like Chicago. I see why people are really down on Chicago. I see why people are really excited about Chicago. I agree with you. I think they're a mediocre team, probably going to finish 23rd.
No playoffs.
No.
All right. Speaking of a game where I think does have playoff implications, the Cleveland Browns 3-5. This is a winner go home for Cleveland, in my opinion. Getting 3 in a hook at the Miami Dolphins. This is a best bet for me, Greg. Best bet Cleveland Browns. What am I missing? This game makes no sense to me. How are the Cleveland Browns getting a hook? They're begging me to take Cleveland. I'll do it. Or is it just because the stats and the fantasy and Tua's undefeated and Tyreek Hill's numbers are unreal and they're just fun to watch and everyone wants to bet on the Dolphins? Is that what's going to happen? Because in reality, Nick Chubb is going to get 2 touchdowns and the Cleveland Browns are going to be in control of this entire game. This game makes no sense to me. I absolutely love the Cleveland Browns. Miami's going to be 6-4, which is fine for them. And the Cleveland Browns are going to be 4-5, getting back in the swing of things in the AFC because they're getting ready for Deshaun Watson, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, if they play 500 ball until he's back and he's halfway decent, they got a shot at making the playoffs and making a little run.
Greg, you took the words literally right out of my mouth. The goal from day one was Brissett, give me 500 ball.
Yeah.
You can get it, right? Like, this is the road right here. This is desperation, Greg. We're talking about desperation football. This is it. The Cleveland Browns go 3-6. It's over. The division is absolutely gone. With Baltimore having 6 wins already. And the AFC wild card with the AFC East, shout out, going absolutely bonkers. You can kiss it goodbye if you're 3-6. So I absolutely love Cleveland. What am I missing? Best bet, everything. Throw it all on Cleveland. I love it.
I mean, I agree with you. It's not a best bet for me, but it is a bet for me. The only thing that worries me about this, John, 75% of the public is on Cleveland as well. When it's that big, I usually really like to fade the public. But to me, Miami, maybe it's just I'm a spiteful Jets fan, but we just talked about it with Chicago. The one thing I learned last week about Miami, about everyone's, oh, Miami this, Miami that, the offense. Yeah, they let up 200 rushing yards on defense.
Yeah.
Like, if you can stop 1 or 2 drives from Miami and Tyreek Hill going for 60-yard touchdowns or Jalen Waddle going for 60-yard touchdowns, if you could stop 1 or 2 of those, you could just run the ball on them the whole freaking game. And guess what? Who's really good at running the football? Nick Chubb. We saw last time he played, when he played, was it the Bengals was the last game that they played? And on Halloween, on Monday night. And he ran all over everybody, dude. He's great. So give me Cleveland, give me the points. It sucks that it's in Miami, but it's not that crazy right now. It's not like it's January you're going to Miami. It's November. It's nice out. It's still shorts weather, as you know. So I give me Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chubb is going to get more snaps here, so that's not great for the Dolphins, but also Myles Garrett against that terrible Miami O-line.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Wilson had a great game. We'll see how that goes. But
yeah, Chicago got rid of all their defensive players, and then they allowed 30-something points or 40 points to Miami. Cleveland has defensive players. Cleveland's going to play ball here in this game.
They're going to kill Miami, honestly. They really are.
Yeah.
All right, this is a weird game for me, Greg. I have so many hold my nose picks, but this might be my ultimate hold my nose pick here. And that's Jacksonville getting 9.5 at Kansas City. Listen, man, I just feel Like every time Kansas City is crowned, they don't cover. Like there's no way to like judge that, right? So I couldn't like pull up those exact numbers. But every time it's so like it's ready for Kansas City to take the real and take care of first place in the AFC. They win the games, but they don't cover. They never cover. And Jacksonville plays them tight, man. Jacksonville hangs in the team, especially when it seems like it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, this is a big live bet for me game. Like I feel like it could easily be 14-3 Kansas City in this game, and I put in like Jacksonville alternate live line plus like 7.5, and it's plus like 210, and it's like okay, and they come back and it's a field goal game at some point. Dude, I was saying it last week. It's one of those things you talked about it. You talked about it at 1.2. When you start hearing everyone saying a stat or everyone saying a storyline or something like that, you have to feed it because you know who knows about it before everyone? Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Everyone last week. Andy Reid off a bye. Andy Reid off a
I
bye.
forgot about
Tennessee's
that.
so good. Or Tennessee's so bad. Malik Willis stinks. Andy Reid off a bye. Andy Reid off a bye. I had Tennessee. I was all over Tennessee. They should have won that game. It's crazy. It was a great comeback from Kansas City to force overtime and then to win it in overtime. It shows you why they're a top-end team. But Tennessee should have won that game easy. They were running all over Kansas City. Kansas City has a terrible run defense. Tractor Cito season early because the last two games he's looked phenomenal. I love Jacksonville in this game. Plus 9.5. I think that's an easy bet. I want to see what the public is on this because that worries me a little bit. That's so many points.
I'm sure they're going to be on Kansas City.
85% on Kansas City, John. This might be a best bet for me. This is so easy.
All right. Speaking of a game that I think is easy, but it's actually on the favorite. And that's the New York Giants coming off a bye, -5.5 against the worst rush defense in the NFL, coming off a bye. Wait, did Houston play last week?
No. Oh, yes, they did. They played the Eagles Thursday night.
Eagles
And
play.
that's another one, dude. I was big on the big underdogs last week, and those were easy. Houston was the easiest bet. So easy. They were never not covering.
That's a fact. But for this game, man, against a team that all they do is run in the New York Giants. I literally do not understand how on earth this isn't 9.5. This game should be 9.5 for me. I think the New York Giants are going to run all over Houston. Damian Pierce just showed up on the injury report today, which is not great
Oh,
because
I
that's
didn't know
literally
that.
their only weapon.
That could honestly affect my pick because, dude, he looked so good last week.
I don't like that McKinney's out. He was there. He was a captain. I think he's one of their best players for sure on defense. And I mean, that's what we're hanging on here. We're hanging on the defense for the New York Giants and the run game. I love the Giants. I think they're gonna absolutely kill Houston. I think they're gonna run all over them. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones coming off a bye. Looks like Kenny Galladay's finally going to be healthy for the first time in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That's what Connor Hughes was saying. Like he's finally healthy. I absolutely love it. This is the best bet. I love the Giants, man. I absolutely love them.
That's crazy. I didn't know this. I can't believe this. 70% of the money is on the Texans. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I thought I was being very sharp in liking the Texans. I thought they looked very good last week.
This is easy, bro. This is so easy. They're gonna run it all day long. Honestly, go pick up your daily fantasy and take Saquon Barkley. Everything. Take the over rush yards on everybody you find. They're gonna kill them, man. They're gonna be 1-7-1, and Giants are
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
know, but
7-2.
I heard all that last week, and that was an easy bet, man. It was easy. I'm going with Houston. I'm doing hold my nose. This is gonna be my hold my nose pick of the week. 5.5 points. It's gonna be ugly. They're probably not gonna cover wire to wire because it's less than a field or it's less than a touchdown. I'm sure the
That's
Giants are gonna
14
score
points,
touchdowns.
bro. He does 14 points on a Thursday. It's a completely different ball game here.
Yeah, we'll see. I just a lot of people. I feel like a lot. I thought a lot of people like the Giants. I'm very surprised that 70% of the money's on Houston. Like I said, I thought it was being sharp, dude. Mills look good. Davis Mills with three tight ends running out there. He was hitting them all. They were looking like they were able to move the ball down the field. Damian Pierce being on the injury report scares me a little bit too, but he's bouncing off people. He's making cuts. He's all over the place. Defense didn't look as bad as advertised, man. Defense looked okay. They were giving Philadelphia fits. They were causing some problems. So, I mean, we'll see. This is going to be one of those teams that's just going to lose every game, but I think they're going to cover 5.5 points. I think it's going to be close.
All right, yeah. So I just want to mention, I forgot to bring it up last week. The 4 teams on a bye for this week, they all covered: Ravens, Bengals, Patriots, Jets. This has been a trend that we've been, looking at for next week. It's Jacksonville, Miami, Seattle, Buccaneers. Seattle Buccaneers because they're going to Germany,
Yeah,
and they
true.
actually took it off. So we can't really find anything there. Miami, that goes against my best bet, so I don't love that. I hope they're looking forward to the week off as vacation,
Yeah, down
and
in
that goes
Miami.
again.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville goes with it, so hopefully that just splits. But I can't change it. I love the Browns in
Yeah.
that previous game. Last game of the 1 o'clocks. This one's a tough one for me. I know it seems easy for you because you just fade Russell Wilson. I get it. They're coming off a bye. Hopefully he's actually healthy now. They did get rid of
He
Chubb.
was never not healthy, John. Don't fall for that shit.
Oh yeah, because he was stretching, right?
Yeah.
The only issue here I have, man, is Justin Simmons. If Justin Simmons, he just popped up on the injury report. If Justin
Jeffrey
Simmons doesn't
Simmons, you're right.
play,
You're talking about for
Jeff,
Tennessee.
no, talking about
Oh.
the free safety for
Oh.
the Denver Broncos,
Oh.
who's the most important player on both sides on for both teams. Yeah, I think for both teams because Hilliard's been okay for instead of Derrick Henry. Like he's been okay, taking stuff. I would say without Simmons, the Denver Broncos have literally no chance. Like if Henry wasn't there, like I still think the Titans can manage. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this game. I want to take Denver so bad coming in. The Simmons thing really throws me off. I think Tennessee has to come down to earth a little bit. They only win division games. It feels
Yeah.
like. I really don't know what to do with this game. I don't. I really don't have a take either way. I would lean Denver just because they're coming off a bye. But dude, Nathaniel Hackett stinks. So I don't know what he's coaching through a bye. You know what I mean? And Vrabel, on the other hand, is a really good coach. Oh my, actually, dude, okay. I'm just gonna take the Titans because you have the better coach and you could run the ball. But I don't know. Is Tannehill gonna play? They said maybe. I hate Malik Willis, dude. I'm sorry. I think he stinks. I don't hate him as a person. I hate him as a football player. He
Dude,
stinks,
he's
bro.
fine. He
Dude.
runs. All they do is run, and all they need to do is run, dude. I love Tennessee here as a best bet for me. I think this is
Oh.
an easy best bet, -2.5 at home.
Oh.
Coming
Oh, it's
off
because
a
you hate Russell Wilson? Or no?
Yeah, it's because I hate Russell Wilson. It's
Mm.
also because I think Nathaniel Hackett can't hack it. I think Denver just stinks.
But
Yeah. I think Tennessee's just good too. I think they should have won that game. I think that's the type of loss that if a good team is playoff bound, that can fuel your season for the rest of the year. It fueled the Buffalo Bills to start the season until they played Kansas City and beat them in Kansas City. Like that's the type of stuff that'll keep you up at night if you think you can go places in this league. I think the Tennessee Titans do, dude. I think Mike Vrabel's the real deal as a coach. I think this team is the real deal. They had a walkthrough today, so they put people down the injury report, but they didn't actually practice because they played on Monday night. But it worries me because you said Simmons on the injury report. I was thinking Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. He was on the injury report. I talk about Amani Hooker all the time. I think he's one of the best safeties in the league. I think he makes his defense hum. He's on the injury report. Zach Cunningham, I think a big linebacker for them, plays an important role. He's on the injury report. So they have three key people at three different levels on the defense, all on the injury report. That worries me a little bit. And to your point, Dontrell Hilliard, I think he's been a pretty good backup. He's on the injury report. So it worries me a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see how this injury report shakes out throughout the rest of the week.
Tennessee's getting healthier. I think they're honestly gonna have a strong second half of the year, but I'm hoping
I hope so.
well, If the Jets make a wild card, I would love to go into Tennessee, even though I think they're going to be stronger as the year goes on.
I would not. I don't know who I would want to play. Maybe it's probably the best of all the options, but
Yeah, I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not trying to go into Baltimore. I'm not trying to go into Kansas City. I'm not trying to go into Buffalo. So that's it. That's where you gotta go as a wild card. You gotta go
true,
one of
true,
them.
true. I try to win the division, man. I think we got a shot, but
Oh,
that's for another day when the
yeah,
Jets come back.
yeah. We'll
They're on
see.
bye this
I'll just.
week. But yeah,
I'll.
Tennessee, best bet for me. I
Yeah.
also forgot to mention earlier, I think, unless I'm just losing my mind, Seattle is my first best bet of the weekend. That's
You
that
mentioned that.
9:30 Sunday. Beautiful way to start the weekend. Easy money to get the bank account rolling.
Yeah, that should be fun. All right, Indianapolis, 4 o'clock. Jeff Saturday at the Las Vegas Raiders, -6.5. The Raiders. Yo, this is the first time in my life that I actually don't know who's a better
Yeah,
coach.
I was just gonna say who's the worst coach here.
I legitimately do not know who is a better coach in this scenario. Is it Josh McDaniels, who we've seen absolutely stink, or is it Jeff Saturday, who could be the coolest guy ever? Like, did you see his
Sure.
press conference today?
Yeah.
Everyone complaining. Just go watch Jeff Saturday press conference. Just go watch it. Don't talk to me about who this guy deserves this. Forget all that. Forget all that. Like, it's an interim coach. They have a chance at the division, Greg. Can you believe it?
Yeah. With a rookie or a second year QB, his first season playing.
If they buy into this, Jonathan Taylor, listen, if there's one thing I know, and if you can grab Jonathan Taylor from your fantasy league, if you can trade for him, go do that immediately. There's one thing I know, Jeff Saturday is going to run this ball to the ground. He's going to run. And Quentin Nelson's been looking pretty bad.
Yeah,
He's been
the
looking pretty
whole
bad.
line's bad. Yeah.
I wonder if everything changed with Jeff Saturday. He talked about how what he said to the locker room during the press conference. He's like, yo, like this is. He's like, and then he's like talking. He's like, dude, I've been doing football for 14 years. Do not tell me I don't have experience with football. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, when would you like me to coach? You know, he didn't say that, but like, when would you like him to coach? Like, he's been doing football 14 years. Like, when? When do you want to
Yeah,
start?
he doesn't have 15 years of coaching experience because he's been freaking playing football in the National Football League, winning NFL championships.
He
But
played
yeah,
with Peyton Manning. I mean, listen, it's gonna be interesting. I'll tell you what, man. I have taken the Indianapolis Colts have moved to third in division odds behind the Jacksonville Jaguars. I
it's
love
disgusting.
Indianapolis in this game. I love Indianapolis in this game. I absolutely love them. I hate the Las Vegas Raiders. They are so bad. So bad. And what the hell is Josh McDaniel going to prepare for? What is he going to prepare for?
True.
He has no idea what he's about to see from Sam Ellinger and Jeff Saturday. You know why? Because no one on earth has any idea what they're about to see from them. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the most basic football, and it's going to be amazing. And they're going to kill the Las Vegas Raiders. And you know what? That compliment from Bill Belichick about Shaq Darius Leonard, the guy, he gets it. He knows. He knows that Leonard's so good, it looks like he's reading the snaps. And he said the same thing about CJ Mosley, which is pretty cool. But yo, Indianapolis 6.5. How did they get more points just because they went from Frank Reich to Jeff Saturday? That's an upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree. Maybe eventually, but it's like, dude, they fired the OC last week. Then Frank Reich's like, all right, I'll take over play calling. He gets fired, so they have like some assistant who's going to be calling the plays this week because no one else knows how to call plays on the offensive coaches. It's absolutely crazy. The only thing that worries me, I agree with you about the Colts. You know, interim coach bump, I could see it. Deion Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, both on the injury report this week. Deion Jackson held out of practice. Jonathan Taylor limited practice. To me, it all comes down to their availability. I had Jonathan Taylor in Dynasty. He's been incredible for 2 years, and then as soon as I get him, as we redraft the Dynasty League, he absolutely falls off a cliff and absolutely stinks.
I'll take
So
Jonathan Taylor. I'll take
yeah,
Jonathan Taylor from you right now for this week. He's gonna kill
yeah.
it.
So is he pulling like Mike Thomas down in New Orleans type thing where he's just not playing 'cause he doesn't believe in the coaching and the regime and the organization, or is he actually injured? I guess we'll see. Maybe Jeff Saturday can wake him up a little bit, maybe not. I don't know. But because I don't know, I think I have to take the Las Vegas Raiders in here. I think 2 weeks ago when they got shut out was a fluke. They were just all in. They were all sick with whatever they had going around, the flu or whatever. Last week, though, absolute collapse against Jacksonville, the third big collapse of the season. To me, I think, honestly, it's crazy to say, I think Josh McDaniels might be coaching for his job. I think there's
No
a
way.
shot he's on the hot seat already. Dude, you can't lose 17, was it 17, 17-point leads in a season, and we're only halfway through. You can't do that. You just can't do that. Be up 3 scores and lose 3 times in 8 games. Like, eventually, someone's going to be like, dude, I'm sorry, but you just don't. Whatever it is, you don't got it. And this is the second go around. I don't know. We'll see, but I think there's a shot he's on the hot seat. Him and Cliff Kingsbury, I think, are the hot 2 seats. And the guy in Cleveland, I forget his name right now.
I don't think that he's on the hot seat, man. First of all, Mark Davis has no money, and so he's not going to fire the coach that he's going to pay him and have to pay another coach. He's just not going. He doesn't have
Does
the
it all
money.
the time.
He's not going to do that right now, man. 4 games in, dude. It's just not going to happen. He just has to
still
pay.
owes John Gruden, what, $70 million on his $100
Exactly.
million contract?
Exactly. And
Does it all
now,
the
and
time.
he just paid Devontae Adams all that guaranteed money up front, dude. He's not firing Josh McDaniels. It's not happening.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll just stink for 4 or 5 years while he's there and they ride it out. But, dude, I just can't believe they didn't give the head coach job to Basickia. Those guys fucking rallied around him last year and made it all the way to the playoffs. And just, how do you not give the guy a coaching job? It's crazy, but I digress.
All right. Let's digress into this Dallas versus Green Bay game.
Perfect.
And I know you're gonna go here. This is 4.5. This is plus 4.5. Green Bay at home. Dallas looking good. Coming out of a bye week. Zeke is hurt. Tony Pollard still looks great. I don't know why they're looking for a wide receiver in Odell Beckham. That's just giving me such weird vibes, man. They're becoming the most Dallas Cowboys that the Dallas Cowboys can possibly be. They're 6-2. They have a chance at the division. They're riding high. They played almost the entire year without their star quarterback. Their star running back is hurt, and they're doing fantastic without him. Gallup is back, and they're sitting there talking about Odell Beckham Jr. all day. They're so weird. The Dallas Cowboys are so weird to me, and this is the exact type of game that they fall. Green Bay is desperate. Green Bay is desperate. I know you say, oh, they never win. They cover. They've been covering.
They did
Green
last
Bay,
week.
not last week, the week before they did.
Got lucky, but yeah.
Versus Buffalo.
Yeah, got a little lucky at the end there.
Okay. Listen, man. I like Green Bay. I think at home right now. First of all, Aaron Rodgers doesn't lose at home unless it's to the Jets. We all know that. They're at home. They're catching 4.5 at Lambeau Field. McCarthy going back home. I do not see Aaron Rodgers losing to Mike McCarthy. I just can't see it. I just can't see Aaron Rodgers losing to Mike McCarthy at home. Especially getting 4.5 at home. That means the Dallas Cowboys are 7.5 points better on neutral field. No way. No way Mike McCarthy's 7.5 points better than Aaron Rodgers. I just can't do it. I'm going Green Bay 4.5. Hold your nose. Hold your nose.
Easiest. I know it's your hold your nose pick, but I'm not doing it. This is the easiest bet of the day for me. It is the Dallas Cowboys minus 4.5. They will roll the Green Bay Packers. I'm doing alternate line minus 9.5. Easy.
In Lambeau Field. Don't say
Lambeau
easy.
Field.
Don't say easy.
They are going to roll. They have nobody on that team. Everyone got hurt last week for Green Bay. Romeo Doubs, their best receiver, is hurt. Lazard on the injury report every single week. He may or may not play. Who are you going to have out there? Amari Rodgers is going to be your number 1 wide receiver. He was a punt returner for you 3 weeks ago because he sucks at catching the ball. Now he's your number 1 guy. They have no receivers. Aaron Jones, the running back, hurt, banged up. He
He's
might
fine. He's
not
gonna
play.
play. No, he's gonna play.
Yeah, we'll see, dude. Every season he's hurt and banged up because he runs so hard and so vicious, but it catches up with him. So you have no offensive line. We all know that. So what do you have? You have Aaron Rodgers and AJ Dillon. That's gonna get the job done, and Bobby Tunyon. That's not gonna go good against Micah Parsons in this Dallas defense. This defense is for real. Diggs is for real on the outside. Micah Parsons is real on the inside. They got a good front five or front seven, dude. Their offense is clicking. Tony Pollard, 3 touchdowns before the bye week. They are going to run all over Green Bay. They're going to throw all over Green Bay. Who got hurt? Was it Gary or Gary last week? Rashard Gary got hurt. He's out for the season, tore his ACL or whatever it is. Dude, they're losing people on both sides of the ball for big-time injuries. Dobbs is out for 3 or 4 weeks at the wide receiver position with the high ankle sprain. They have so many injuries. They suck. They've sucked all year. They're just not a good football team, and Dallas is. I think Dallas is legit number 2, number 3 team in the NFC. They're going to get rocking. They're going to get rolling. The easiest bet of the day, my third and final best bet of the weekend, Dallas -4 or 5.5. Like I said, I'm going to take it at 9.5. Easy bet.
All right, let's go to Cliff Kingsbury at Sean McVay. Sean McVay historically owns Cliff Kingsbury, but Sean McVay's team stinks. And Matt Stafford's in concussion protocol. And it's Wednesday going into Thursday right now. And the Rams are -3.5. This is my third best bet. Everybody's going to love the Rams. You tell me people can't quit Green Bay? What on earth do you see in the Rams, especially at home? They are so bad. Their offensive line is horrific. The whole team is throw it to Cooper Kupp. If Matt Stafford isn't in there, John Wolford to Cooper Kupp is just not. That's not going to work out for me. I can't do it. I can't buy in. They don't have a running game. They don't have an offensive line. Jalen Ramsey stinks. I don't know what anyone likes about this Rams team. They don't have any draft picks. Everybody wants to retire or quit. That's what I hear every single week. It's that team. That team is a dumpster fire, man. And they're 3-5. They're going to be 3-6, and Arizona's going to be 4-6. Even though everything from Arizona looks disgusting, they're going to beat the Rams. They're going to redemption. But 3.5 is a beautiful number. I love 3.5. It's my best bet. Third one of the week.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing I'm going with the Rams, and it's just simply because of the coaching matchup. We talk about with this NFC West division. I don't know why it is, but McVay owns Kingsbury, and it's been true every single time. So I'd take the Rams when they play Arizona. And then San Francisco's coach, I'm blanking on his name right now, the really cool guy over there, Kyle, whatever. He owns McVay and the Rams, so I take San Francisco when they play the Rams. So give me the Rams. They're playing Arizona, so don't think just throw pick of the week. Rams -3.5. McVay owns Kingsbury. It's that simple.
Think, bro. The Rams shouldn't be -3.5 to anyone on earth.
Dude,
Nobody.
they were 60 seconds away from beating Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay last week.
That was they both stink. That game.
I know, but then all of a sudden they're 4-4. They're battling for the division. They're 1 game behind Seattle. It's like, oh, the Rams might be back. Who knows?
I know they're not. They stink.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see come Sunday.
Speaking of division, Sunday night, Chargers +6.5 at San Francisco. And this game makes no sense to me. Where's the public here?
55-45 on the Chargers.
Perfect. Dude, I love San Francisco so much. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. Deebo Samuel is healthy. So. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute beast. Their defense is unreal. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a nice game manager. He's seen it all. They have a good home field. Chargers have no wide receivers. Keenan Allen not playing again. I love
Mike
San
Williams
Francisco.
is out too, yeah.
I love San Francisco. I don't care about Jordan Palmer. I don't care about Carter. I don't care. I love San Francisco. They're a wagon. San Francisco at 4-4 is a wagon, man. I love them. I love them so much. San Francisco all day long.
Yeah, I'm
Any
trying to look it
thoughts?
up real quick if I can find it. I saw a Twitter article. Um, I thought he was saying that it was Debo Samuel was originally upset when they traded for Christian McCaffrey. Um, but I don't know how true that is. Maybe a little turmoil. I'd like San Francisco. I took them in the beginning of the season for NFC to win the NFC and then for a
I
Super
can't
Bowl
believe.
pick.
Yeah, but it's a whole different team. Those Trey
And
Lance.
but that's what I was gonna say. And his team's gotten so much better. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, is a much better win now quarterback than Trey Lance. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back they've had in years. When
He's been
they've
better in the
had
league. He's been
dude,
running back in the NFL.
throwing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, passing touchdowns, running touchdowns. He does it all. It's crazy. He needs to stay healthy on a team that's always injured. But and also too, like speaking of injuries, I think they're getting healthy at the right time. Like Nick Bosa's back. He's looked really good. Um,
Oh, it's a Bosa showdown. Didn't even realize.
yeah, isn't the other one out for the year though? On the
Oh, is he?
Chargers.
I thought he was back this week. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
I'll look it
maybe
up.
not. Maybe he is injured. But dude, and the best thing too is that again, the San Francisco, like, they are getting healthier, but two or three of their key players still are out on the defensive line. Like, this defense can be even better in a few weeks when they all get hopefully all get healthy and they're all back and playing well. Um, I agree with you that probably the right pick here
Oh,
is
Bosa's still
LA.
out. Bosa's still out.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Dustin Hopkins is out too. Their kicker. Oh, dude.
For the Chargers, I think is the punter hurt too. I think their punter I saw was on the injury report too. That could sway me a little bit. You're down your kicker and your punter, like that's tough. You're definitely not going to win the special teams battle. But dude, I like the Chargers plus 6.5. Something about the Chargers where I feel like this is just going to be a close game. Austin Eckler is the real deal. As long as he's healthy, they throw to him 15 times a game. They run him with it 15 times a game. The Chargers have no help on the offensive line. To your point, Palmer, I think he had a good week last week, but again, they're down their two best wide receivers. It's crazy, but somehow they're staying competitive. They're at 5-3. If they win this week, they're 6-3, right up there with everyone else in the AFC West. 6.5 points is a lot of points, so give me the Chargers. I like San Francisco. It kind of pains me to say it. I'm hoping to split hairs here. San Francisco win, Chargers cover. It's a lot of points for a Sunday night game.
All right. Last game of the week, Monday Night Football. This is what I wanted to talk about earlier in the episode, man. The Eagles might be the most fraudulent A&O team I've ever seen in my life that I can remember.
That's wild.
They are good. They're good, but I honestly could see them not even winning the division. Legitimately.
Yeah, there's a chance.
They still play the Giants twice. They still play the Cowboys. They have a couple games mixed in there. And to be honest with you, man, I'm not going to be too shocked if Washington beats Philly on Monday night. Anything
That's
goes.
wild.
Anything goes when the NFC East plays each other, man. Anything goes. Especially Philly's been looking worse and worse every single week. They've been regressing every week. They almost need a loss. I know that sounds weird, but they almost need, because they are playing scared to lose. They're playing scared to lose. Instead of in the beginning, they were playing loose.
I don't know about that. I disagree with that. I think last week it was just like everyone knew they were going to win the game, so they just never even tried. Like yesterday, last Thursday night, yeah, it was like they were trying 6 out of, like on a scale of 10, they were doing a 6 the whole game. They just were running slower. They weren't completing plays. They just didn't care because they knew they were going to win. Did they smoke Pittsburgh?
Yeah, but like I just
didn't AJ Brown have 3 touchdowns?
That was the
He was pointing at the guys. He said, "You can't cover me."
Yeah, it was
Like,
35-13.
you know what I'm saying? I don't think they've really been slowing down, my guy. Got to bet on them to go undefeated at like plus whatever some number. I'm looking at that. I got them. That they were my
No,
preseason pick for winning Super Bowl, winning the
they're not
NFC,
going
winning their
undefeated.
division.
Nah. Nah, I'm off. I'm off. I'm officially. I don't know, man. There's something about this Eagles team. I like them though. I don't think they're a bust team. I just think they're a fraudulent undefeated team. I just don't think they're an 8-0 quality team.
Who's the
But they're
last?
good.
Who's the
I
last
don't.
team that was 8-0?
Um.
I feel like there's always a couple every year, or there's
Yeah,
always
that's what I'm
some.
saying.
There's always
That's why I didn't
someone.
want to make that like definitive say. I feel like the Chiefs maybe were undefeated for a while. Were the Bills undefeated for a while or no?
I don't know. I mean, when I think of undefeated teams, oh, ready for this list? Last season, I can't even believe this. What a world! Cardinals started 7-0. Remember that? We had them
That's
in the
what I'm saying.
division.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Dude, that
I'm
was.
not
I
being
think that might have been
crazy.
more fraudulent than this
I
team.
agree. Well, obviously in hindsight, especially, but I'm telling you, dude.
Steelers started 11-0 2 years ago.
I remember that. That's
Big Ben, the last
and they
ride.
stunk. Well, would they end? Would they end? Does it say?
Um.
What year was it?
Yeah, they finished 12-4, 2020.
Bro,
So they went one and
dude,
four the rest of the way. But they started out 11-0. That's pretty good. 12-4 is a
I'm
great season.
I'm telling you, man, this Eagles team is gonna be so different. Where everyone look right now thinking 8-0, NFC Eagles best team. I can't wait until I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be so different. Look at their schedule.
Still,
They got the Commanders
they don't play
on Monday
anyone.
night. Listen, Commanders Monday night. We'll see what happens with the Colts. Like we'll count that as a win. Green Bay at Eagles. We'll see if Green Bay's come back. We'll count that as the Eagles win because of what we saw this year. Titans Eagles. That's a real game. Eagles at
Yeah,
Giants. That's a real game.
yeah.
Eagles at Bears. That's a real game.
Mm,
Apparently, that's what everyone's telling me.
mm,
Eagles Cowboys. Real game.
yes. At Cowboys, too, right? Because they played in Philadelphia
Yeah.
last time. Yeah.
And then Eagles are going to beat the Saints.
Yeah.
Well, if Saints are desperate, we'll see. But Eagles are going to beat the Saints. And then Giants at Eagles last week of the season. That's a 1-2 three games that are like easily could lose. Like I'm not going to be shocked at all if they lose to the Titans, Cowboys, Giants, in either of the Giants games. 4 games. I'm not going to be shocked. You can't be shocked.
Yeah. So they'll go 13-4 at worst, at the absolute worst. It's a pretty good
I think
season.
I don't think they can lose to the Giants twice.
All right.
I think
So
yeah,
14-3 is the worst they could do. The last
yeah.
team that finished 500 or worse was 2016. The Vikings started 5-0 and then finished 8-8.
No, they're not going to finish. They're not going to be under 500. I just don't think they're going to run to the Super Bowl.
Last year the
Uh,
Cardinals started 7-0. They finished 11-6. So that was definitely fraudulent.
they're going to lose to the Commanders this week.
That's crazy. That's an absolutely
Hein-
crazy thing to say.
Heineke money line. Heineke money line, baby.
That's absurd. I like Washington plus 10.5, but it's just because the same thing I've been saying about Philadelphia all season. I don't think they close games out well. I think they're going to get up in this game. I think they're going to actually be covering 10.5 at some point, unlike they were last week. I think it's a division game. I think it's home. I think it's a little bounce back after Philadelphia lost the World Series. Hate to bring it up. I think Philadelphia they're just not gonna be gas to the pedal all games. I think it's just gonna be another easy win for them. So I like Washington backdoor cover at some point.
Division, bro. Division. Don't forget.
I don't forget, dude. You just don't think that that Philadelphia is that good, which is fine.
No, I
You're
think
more
they're, I
welcome
think
to
they're
think
good.
that, but
I think
dude, they're the
good.
best team in football.
No, I disagree.
Right. Who's better
Yeah.
though?
I at this moment,
And by the way,
nobody's better than the Eagles.
division. They beat Washington already once this season at Washington 24-8.
Carson Wentz.
Oh, okay. It's Taylor Heineke.
Dude, Taylor Heineke, baby. This is a game that the Commanders could win. We'll run this tape back.
We will run
Let's
this
get
tape back. Who's better than the Eagles?
At this moment, I can't say that anybody's better than the Eagles. They have the best record, but I just told you. I think I think they
Records
could lose
aside,
to the
records aside,
Commanders.
who is a better offense? Who is a better defense?
In the NFC.
Anywhere.
Well, in general, I like the Ravens better than the Eagles. I think the Ravens would beat them in the playoff game. I think the Chiefs would beat them in a playoff game. I think a healthy Bills would beat them in a playoff game, but not these Bills, not last
Right.
week's Bills, not this week's Bills. I think the Eagles would smack them.
Right. I mean, the only
That's in the
team that's
AFC.
close.
That's on the AFC. But I think San Francisco could beat them in the NFC.
I think
I
Dallas could
think
beat them,
Dallas or the Giants in the same division. I think are in their schedule could beat them. I think the Vikings could hang with them.
even though they smoked the Vikings a couple weeks ago.
That's the only loss.
Yeah.
They can avenge. I'm just saying they can
Yeah.
hang. They can hang. They can hang. All those teams can hang. Usually when a team is undefeated, like like the Patriots or
I
whatever,
will say
you're
this,
thinking they're
John.
gonna kill.
I agree with you on a lot of those things. A lot of those teams that you mentioned, like the Cowboys, like the Vikings,
They beat them already.
but not only that, but that's true too. The Ravens, their Kansas City Chiefs, all four of those teams, their point differential on the season is plus 50. Get thereabouts. Some of them are plus 30. The Giants, by the way, their point differential is only 6 points, plus 6 points. I won't bring that up. I won't talk about that. But anyway, the Jets are 20 for the record. The Bills are plus 100. So the Bills are the best team by far in the NFL. And to your point, they're really injured, so that's probably going to start going down. You know who's not injured? The Philadelphia Eagles are plus 90. They're 40 points better over 8 games, 5 points better per game than Dallas, than Kansas City, than Baltimore, than Minnesota.
I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm
They're
not saying
good.
I'm not I agree that they're good. I just think they're gonna start. I think they already hit their peak of the regular season.
All right.
I think they're gonna trend down for a little bit. I don't think
We
they're gonna
got you.
look
We got you from
bad.
fraudulent to you think they're good, so I'm happy about that.
Listen, no, I know they're a fraudulent 8-0 team. They're a fraudulent undefeated team, 100%. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know. I guess I don't really know what
Are
that
they gonna go
means.
undefeated? Are they gonna go 17-0?
I think so. I bet it.
I know you bet it, but that's because
I
there's good
think
odds.
so.
You think
They have the
you
easy
do?
schedule. You said they have 3
Okay.
losable games left on the schedule out of 8. That's pretty good. And those 3 losable games, John, I don't know if this is crazy talk or not. They're going to be favored in all 3 of those games.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I bet that the first game they're gonna lose is the Giants. You could take that bet on FanDuel.
Yeah.
I took that. It's like plus 1,700. I took that one.
And that would be an upset, which, again, I just think I truly do believe they're the best team in football.
Okay.
Yeah.
You,
We'll see.
you think neutral field they would be favored over San Francisco
Yep.
and the Vikings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially in the playoffs.
I
really
think it would
don't
be
know.
like 3 points. I don't think it would be crazy. But, dude,
Yeah.
they do everything. They have a quarterback that can run the ball and throw the ball. They have 3 good wide receivers. They have a good tight end. They have a great, maybe not the best offensive line in football. They have 4 running backs. What you have as a prop bet last week? Who was the Bart Scott? Who was the running back you had? Like, what are you talking about? They got 3 good running backs, 4 good running backs if you count Hurts. And then they have a stud defense all over the place. They traded Chicago for guys. They drafted guys. They got young guys. They got old guys. They got veterans that have been on the team for a while. They got free agent signings. I don't want to just talk about Philly all day because I need to talk. I need to talk about a green team because the Jets are away this week, so I'm feeling left out. But yeah, man, let's get into these Hail Mary parlays and teasers
Go ahead.
because I got a doozy for you. I got an
Do it.
easy 3-teamer plus 1,000. Last week my Hail Marys let me down. This week it won't though. I think it let me down because of the Carolina Panthers, but other than that, my other 3 teams might have won. I have to double check that. That would drive me nuts. This week, though, again, back to the old school ways, plus money, 3-teamer, Seattle Seahawks, plus 130 at Tampa Bay over in Germany, though, 9:30 game. Minnesota money line against the Buffalo Bills, plus 152, especially if Case Keenum's starting. I mean, that's going to be minus money, so...
Revenge game though.
Yeah, true. Case Keenum revenge. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. And then again, I said it earlier, the easiest bet of the week, Dallas Cowboys -5 is minus 110. Those 3 together is plus 1,000 on FanDuel. And there you go. It's a free $1,000 if you bet 100. If you bet $1 million, is a free, I don't know,
What's
billion
your Hail
dollars,
Mary?
100 million.
Mary?
Yeah, that's my Hail Mary. Seattle Seahawks plus 130, Minnesota Vikings plus 152 money line, and the Dallas Cowboys -5 at the Green Bay Packers. 3-team parlay plus 1,000. What you got for a Hail Mary?
My Hail Mary, I am going Hail Mary, man.
Let's go.
I'm not joking around
Let's
when we say
go.
Hail Mary. All right. So I got a 9-leg parlay. You bet $10. $10.
Easy.
You win 15 grand.
That's lunch. $10 is not 15. 15 is nice.
It starts off with your favorite Washington Commanders beating the Eagles,
Okay.
49ers beating the Chargers,
Okay.
Colts beating the Raiders,
Okay.
Vikings beating the Bills, Browns beating the Dolphins, Steelers beating the Saints, Seahawks beating the Bucks, Falcons beating the Panthers, and the Giants beating the Texans. $10, 15K.
Love it. Love
Hail
it. Love
Mary.
it. It's a Hail Mary. That's your what if I get every single bet right pick of the week.
Yeah, it's just like, what if everybody's talking about goes wrong, and then everybody's screaming, "Oh, what a crazy week in the NFL!"
Yep.
Like that's it. This is the crazy week in the NFL.
Yep.
Commanders beat the Eagles. San Francisco's for real.
We say it every week.
Jeff Saturday can coach. It's just gonna be the
I'm
craziest
telling you
day.
right now, I don't care
Who
what you say
lost?
about the Raiders and Mark Davis and all this money stuff. If he loses to Jeff Saturday, he will be fired. He will be
Okay,
fired.
let's bet on that. Actually, let's bet on that. If
Okay.
if if the Colts win, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be fun. So the bet only is active if the Colts win,
Yeah,
and you
so
think that he gets
what's the
fired.
bet? What do you want to bet? Just straight up
I don't know.
cash? You want to do
Whatever you
something?
want. Whatever you want. We can think about the parameters, but we need to bet on that
Okay.
before the
We'll
game.
figure something out. We'll tweet it out. Winning P Weekly on Twitter. Follow along. Let us know what you're taking this weekend, and also let us know what you think of the bet because the bet will be out there. We'll figure something out. Only if the Colts beat the Raiders, because I'm telling you, he's getting fired if they do. There's no way you could keep a guy around. Who's going to listen to him? What player's going to listen to the coach that loses to Jeff Saturday, his first game coaching at any level?
Listen, man, he's starting from scratch. He probably has this agreement that they're like starting from. They cut Jonathan Abram, a first round pick, after he got demoted. I mean,
Crazy.
they're going for the first round pick, bro. They're getting rid of Derek Carr.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's gonna stay here. He's gonna get a new quarterback. He's gonna train the quarterback. He's gonna have a year with him, and then it's gonna be like, yo, does this guy know how to coach or not? Like
Yeah.
that's what I think. I feel like I'm stealing your money or whatever bet we make. So
All right.
that's
Well, we'll figure it out. Then I'll come up with something good. Let's get to our teasers here. Teaser I have this week is another simple one. It's only a four-point teaser, but it's the Dallas Cowboys at -1, Seattle Seahawks +7, Minnesota Vikings +7.5, and the Raiders -1.5. This again, I'm just kind of doubling down on my best bets on my Hail Mary parlay, and again. It's just what if I'm right on these picks? If I'm right on these picks, I'm winning this 3 different ways. I'm winning my individual bets, I'm winning my Hail Mary parlay, and I'm winning in my teaser. Again, 4-point teaser, 4-team teaser, plus 350, not terrible odds. And again, you're getting over some football numbers there. Dallas Cowboys -1, Seattle Seahawks +7, Minnesota Vikings +7.5, and the Raiders -1.5. I absolutely love it.
all right. I'm going with a 6-team teaser
Okay.
plus 500.
Ooh.
Seattle +9, Browns and Vikings +9.5, Colts +11.5, Commanders +16.5, and the Steelers +7.5.
Love it.
16.5 is a lot.
16.5 is a lot of points. 3 scores.
16.5 is a lot.
That is a lot. All right, let's do this rapid fire. Let's get out of here.
Let's do it. All right. Atlanta, -3 at Carolina. What do you got?
Atlanta.
Same. Seattle, +3 at Tampa Bay. What do you
Seattle.
got, Greg? You love them, Seattle and Germany. Minnesota 7-1, +3.5 for the Case Keenum revenge game in Buffalo. What do you got?
I'm just laughing, John, because we have a lot of the same picks. Chicago.
What do you mean, Chicago? Minnesota.
Oh, sorry, Minnesota. Yep.
But you just gave the next one away.
Yep.
Detroit +2.5 at Chicago. We both got Chicago. Not great. Denver +2.5 at Tennessee. You know what? I'm gonna switch it. You convinced me to switch this one. We have too many bets the
We
same.
have a lot of the same bets.
I'm going back. You convinced me here. I'm going back to Denver, dude. Denver's fine. I don't care. But if Simmons doesn't play, I'm never gonna take them in real life. But for here, I'm taking Denver off a bye.
I like it. I got Tennessee in this one. Best
Jacksonville
bet.
+9.5 at Kansas City. What do you like?
Jacksonville.
Same. Wow, we really. Oh my goodness, we all the
I'm
same here.
telling
The
you.
1 o'clocks. We're gonna do terrible in the 1 o'clocks.
I know.
Cleveland +3.5 at Miami. This is one of my best bets. Love Cleveland. Don't like that the public also likes them. But Miami's fraudulent. I don't care that Tua's undefeated when he starts. This is the one game.
I like Cleveland.
Me too. Best bet. Another best bet of mine. New York Giants off a bye at home. Team that runs every single play against another team who literally cannot stop the run. I love the Giants at -5.5. Yes, they're gonna miss McKinney, but I think they're still gonna be okay. Versus Houston.
I go Houston in my hold my nose pick of the week.
All right, Brandon Cooks is playing. New Orleans Saints, basically a pick 'em at the Steelers. I love the Steelers here because the Saints absolutely stink, but I am nervous about the desperation. I'm taking the Steelers. What do you like?
I like New Orleans.
Jeff Saturday versus Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is getting -6.5. What do you like?
I like Josh McDaniels in the loss. I don't like Josh McDaniels, but I will be taking Josh McDaniels in
I
the
just
Las
wanted
Vegas
you to say
Raiders.
that. You walked right there. Why did you say you
Yeah,
like Josh?
clip that.
You're taking Josh McDaniels at 6.5. That's what I want you to say.
And he's gonna blow a 17-point lead at some point. I just hope that they can score a touchdown to win the game and cover the 6.5.
Josh McDaniels shouldn't be -6.5 versus Georgia. So I don't know. I'm Dallas -4.5 at Green Bay. Mike McCarthy revenge.
Big time. Bring that watermelon. This is my third best bet of the day. Seattle, Tennessee were my other ones. I'm going with Dallas. -4.5, -5, whatever it is. I will be betting it at -9.5 because it is going to be so easy.
This is my line in the sand game. Green Bay. If you don't cover, I'm done with you. Unless Jordan Love comes in, then we'll talk. Arizona +3.5. The
Uh,
McVay Kingsbury battle. What do you got?
my don't think just throw pick of the week. The Los Angeles Rams.
There's something interesting here. Has this line moved, Greg?
Um,
I see it at -1.5 now. I don't know if we just missed something. It went all the way down.
I see it at 3 and 1.5. I see some markets have it at a different number.
Interesting. You know
Yeah,
why?
I see it at 1.5 on FanDuel.
Yeah. This is the easiest Arizona bet of all time. This is my third best bet. Arizona. I talk about McDaniel shouldn't be minus. This Rams team shouldn't be minus to anyone, even to Syracuse. I would think Syracuse
Come on, not
plus
Syracuse.
money. Okay, come on, man. This is tough. They stink. The offensive line stinks. The defense stinks. It could be John Walford out there. Come on, bro. Give me Arizona. Oh, that's probably why I moved.
Yeah, I was going to say Stafford might be
Forgot
out if it moved 2
Stafford.
points.
He just went into the concussion protocol today. Of course he's out. Of course he's
Sure.
out. I love Arizona. Sunday Night Football. Bosa won versus not the other one because he's injured.
Yeah,
Maybe.
true. Nick.
Who knows? San Francisco. -6.5.
I got the
What do you like?
Chargers plus 6.5.
That's crazy, man. I love San Francisco here. All right, Washington at Philly. The game of the game of the week for this podcast. What do you got, Greg?
Washington plus 10.5. I don't think Philly holds on to that lead all game. Backdoor cover Washington and Heineke.
Washington wins.
Crazy.
Well, they've been calling me crazy all year, Greg. They've been calling me crazy all year
True. For many years now.
for many years. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. But that wraps it up. You know what it is. Winning P Weekly on Twitter. Knicks, comma, Jets, comma, ETC, period on our YouTube. We're on the playlist for Winning Picks Weekly. We're also on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Stitcher, name it. You name it. We are there. Just hit us up, man. Hit us up. Let us know what you got in your parlays. Next week, officially, the Tsunami Parlay will be back.
Can't wait to take it.
Back in action. Dude, we've been killing. I know on this podcast specifically did bad last week on the full slate. Been killing on the best bets. Been killing it on our slates that we post out. Been killing it with college football. Hit
Yeah,
us up.
you've been doing great on college football, and you step it up there. Again, we called it early season. I'm 13 and 14 on best bets. If I go 2-1 this week, I'm back to 500, baby. I start 0-6. I'm come back. I start making money, and I'm happy we're doing it. I'm winning P Weekly on Twitter. We're winning P Weekly on Twitter. He's Jay Meleka. We'll see you guys next week.
I want to mention one thing if you're still listening. Shout out to you if you are. There's a couple of individual bets that I took, and I forgot to mention them, that I think are easy money.
Okay.
Number one, Patrick Mahomes to throw the most yards is plus 175. Josh Allen, if he misses even one game,
Yep.
that's an absolute lock. It's over. That bet's over. So it's plus 175 to basically if he misses this game, you automatically win the bet, in my opinion. Pretty good bet. Another one, I it's not sexy, and I know we're Jets fans, but dude, New England being the worst odds in the AFC East, just take it and throw that all the way at the bottom of your bets and don't ever look at it again. Just take it, put it down there because if the Patriots beat the Jets, all of a sudden the Bills lose a game and it's all of a sudden New England here they are again top of the division.
Yeah, I mean, if
So
we lose to New England and the Bills without Josh Allen lose to Minnesota, which is definitely possible, that whole division's up in the air.
so I want to bring it up,
Makes me
but
sick.
yeah, I took him in a couple parlays here just so I don't absolutely cry myself to sleep if somehow Mac Jones and Zappy
All
win
14
the
of my
division.
Jets division bets, no matter what I bet on them, end up losing. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's it. Shout out to you if you made it all the way here. Also, a couple other bets. Tyreek Hill. Those are all everything's still plus money there because it's still technically early. Tyreek Hill might get 2,000 yards.
It's crazy.
I mean, just take the bet, man. Just take the bet. All right, we out. I took